Welcome to the MagiReco News. I'm your anchor, the Rosielam, the twin brother of Hagumu. Our top story today. We have a new event, of course, we have a new character, but more importantly, and most importantly, we have changes to the charge disc. Almost, not quite actually, but we do have some changes surrounding the charge playstyle, so we're going to take a look at that. So if we just go down the list, we have a maintenance, of course, for the next event. We have a new app version that you will need to install, so of course, you will need to update your app. If you've installed this app version on your emulator, for example, on your phone, outside of the Japan region, then of course you will have to go through whatever you did before to install this to get the new version. So for example, I've used the easy install method, so I just do the easy install method again with the new app version, and that's how you update. That's that. You just do whatever you did to install it again. More importantly though, we do have some changes to the charge disk, and there are some changes here, blah blah. Japanese, who can read that? We can't, but we have some helpful help that allows us to translate this. So here's the details on the update. First off, actually mostly it's just updates to two things. First off, it's an update to how Charge Combo Plus works, and secondly, because of that change, there are changes to many different Spirit Enhancement and One Memoria that follow that sort of change. What is that change? So Charge Combo Plus, in case you haven't heard about it, if you're an NA player, you definitely haven't heard about this, because this is an ability that was specifically only on the Japanese server, and specifically only on Spirit Enhancement nodes for some charge gorillas, or just charge characters in general. What does Charge Combo Plus do? It's also sometimes called Charge Combo Charge Count Plus, CCP, or just Charge Combo Plus. And what it does is, when you get a charge combo that is 3 charge discs, so you get a charge combo, you have 3 charge discs, then this ability activates. And what does this ability do? Is it gives you bonus charge points on top of that. So usually when you get a charge combo, you get your regular 3 charges from just doing 3 charge discs, but on top of that you get 2 extra charges and you end up at 5 charges. Now when this ability activates, which is when you get a charge combo, you will get more charge points. In this case, for example, right here, Momoko will get 3 extra charges. Awesome. Now, as I mentioned, this has already been on the Japanese server before, so what is the actual change that they've made here? The change is, this sort of ability did not stack. If you had 2 characters, and one character had Charge Combo Plus and gave 1 extra charge count, and the other character also had Charge Combo Plus and gave 2 extra charge counts, for example, so that one is stronger, then what it did was, it just took the highest one and just ran with that. So in that case, you wouldn't get 3, you would only get 2. It didn't stack. Similarly to critical hits, if you have a character that has 20% critical hit chance through Spirit Enhancement, for example, and they have a Memoria that gives 25% crit chance, and they would just have 25% crit chance. It just takes the highest one. But now they've said, you know what, forget about that, it stacks now. So if you're in that situation, we have one character with Charge Combo Plus +1 and another character with Charge Combo Plus +2, now you actually get the 3. They both stack on top of each other. Awesome. What does this mean? Well, first off, because they made that change, they made some changes to the Spirit Enhancement of some characters to reflect that change on these characters, because the Spirit Enhancement nodes for some of these characters did indeed read in the description. It said, this effect does not stack. But now they removed that part, and this is what we're gonna see in this update. However, they also, while they were at it, made some other changes. So we're going to look at Momoko right here, and we see that if we take a look at normal Momoko's Spirit Enhancement, we see that she has 2 nodes that say Charge Adapt 2, which gives charge attack damage up 10, which just makes your charge disc deal more damage. This is different. Wait a second. Oh, it's down here. Sorry, technical adapt 2. This is charge disc damage up, which just makes your charge discs deal more damage, which is different from charge adapt, which makes when you use a charge up, for example, for a blast or for an XL, then that charge or that blast or that XL would be, in this case, 10% more powerful. But here she specifically had your charge discs deal more damage. You had 2 of those nodes for 10%. Where's it? Where's the other one? 10% each. That's the other one. So 2 of those nodes for a total of 20% extra damage on her charge discs. Awesome. Now what they've done is they've combined both of those nodes into one node. And that one node now gives, at least I hope it does, 20% total charge disc damage up, which we see right here. So we see on the left side before update, we have Technical Adapt 2 right here. And down here, before update, Technical Adapt 2, both of those got combined into Technical Adapt 4, which hopefully is 20%. For the charge disc damage up to make it stay balanced. However, now we have a free slot. What do we fill that free slot with? And that free slot is being filled with charge combo +3. So Momoko didn't have this before, but now Momoko got this new spirit enhancement node that gives her charge combo +3. So when you have Momoko on your team and you do a charge combo, although I have to be 100% honest, I'm not 100% certain if Momoko has to be part of the charge combo, or even if someone else does the charge combo, if it still takes that into effect. I'm not 100% certain. Someone can probably tell me if they have to be part of the charge combo, but let's just say if anyone on the team does it, then you get this +3 combo charge, which means that Momoko doing a charge combo gets you not to 5 charge points, but to 8 charge points. Wow! We also have changes to Tsukuyo. Tsukuyo also had charge combo +1, and you see what the old text read. The old text read +1 cannot be repeated, which is just a different translation to cannot be stacked. And instead she gets charge combo +3, so she gets a +3, and of course now it can be stacked, which is a big buff as well, which is okay because Tsukuyo used to be one of the worst characters in the entire game, tied with Himika. Then we also have a change to Hagumu, who has my forehead basically, and she also had charge combo +1. She gets charge combo +2 as well. So not quite as good as Tsukuyo in that regard, but she still gets a +2 on the charge combo count. Awesome. And we have some changes to some characters who are not natural 4-star, some lower rarity character. Kasa, Akira, Sakuya, Meirei, Moka. They before had some charge combo +1 node, as you see here, and their charge combo +1 node, of course, is still a +1, but now of course it can stack. They just updated the text. That's all. And there was one Memoria, which is Moka's personal. Moka's personal read the following. It gave charge combo, it's hard to see around here because it's very bottom, but it gave charge combo charge count +2 and some damage cut, but who cares about the damage cut? But now of course they changed the text to reflect that it can indeed be stacked. Well, let's say for example you have both Momoko and Tsukuyo on your team. And let's say both of them are part of a charge combo. And so you have 3 charge discs. One of them is Momoko's, one of them is Tsukuyo's or whatever. Or let's say that Momoko connects to Tsukuyo and then Tsukuyo finishes the charge combo. I think that counts as well. And then you get in total a +6 charge combo count. So you would end up not on 5 charges, but on 11 charges. This sounds extremely powerful, right? It does indeed make charge a lot more powerful. However, one thing, actually 2 things. 2 things. First off, the more charge you have, the less each charge point is worth. Going from 0 to 1 charge is a really big boost. Going from 1 to 2 charge points is also a pretty good boost. Then from 2 to 3 it's less, from 3 to 4 it's a lot less. Going from 19 to 20 is almost the same. Like 19 and 20 is almost the exact same in terms of how good it is. So the higher you get, the less useful each point becomes. Therefore, going to really high charge points really quickly isn't as good as you might expect. That said, of course, it's still way better to have it like this, to make it a lot easier to get to higher points, where before you had to keep doing charge combos. Now you can do 1 charge combo and you're already really high. That's really good. But the main problem, and this is the second problem, the main problem that you still have with charge combo, which is why I made that other video of is this going to make that viable compared to Excel and Blast. The problem that you have with charge discs is that it's way more RNG dependent than anything else in this entire game. You need to roll specifically charge combos, and if these characters need to be part of it for the bonus to count, they need to be part of it as well. So you need to specifically roll multiple characters' charge discs together for a charge combo, and then roll a good combo for any of them, probably with a connect that actually gets them to use in a Puella combo, a Blast, or an Excel. And the fact of the matter just is that will not happen in so many cases that overall it knocks the viability of this entire strategy down quite a bit. Certainly you can say like, oh, but that only happens in 20% of cases, that you go into a turn with 14 charge points, for example, and you don't get to somehow use it. It only happens in 20% of cases, for example. I'm just making numbers up. But even that 20% of cases, in those 20% of cases, you might get something like you roll 5 charge discs. And you can only go to 20 charge points. You can't go higher than 20. So you'd overcap on charge way too hard. You go like almost like 28 or something. You overcap way too hard. You waste so many charge points. Or let's say you want to blast an enemy that has like 3 tiles in a vertical stripe, and you want to get a vertical blasters in it to hit all of them, and you just get like the horizontal blast, or you get just an Excel disc, and suddenly you feel really, really sad about yourself. And that's terrible. That doesn't happen with Blast or Excel. If you're in an Excel focused team and you roll 5 Excel discs, doesn't matter, it's always good. If you're in a Blast focused team and you roll 5 Blast discs, doesn't matter, it's always good. Charge is not the not the point. I'm not gonna talk too much more about this. In fact, I'm gonna just leave it at this, because people will be wondering like, oh, does this mean that charge is good now? Charge is way better than before. Don't get me wrong, charge is better than before, but the problems that charge has are way deeper that can be fixed with this. Certainly, yeah, there will be some videos of some people on like turn 2 throwing like a 300,000 damage blast out there without a critical hit and being like, oh wow, charge is good now. But I'm just sitting here thinking, well, my Karin does a turn 2 Magia for 500,000 damage with type effectiveness, and buffs the entire team with multiple buffs for 3 turns. That's way fucking better. Anyway, and it doesn't matter on RNG. It just always works. Isn't that way better? I don't know. Like Excel does it way better. So now that we've talked so much about this, yeah, there is a new character and there isn't a bunch of other stuff. So this was the charge changes. There's a new character called Jun. She likes sweet stuff. She's basically a mixture of actually, some people say she looks a bit like Suzume. I don't really see it too much. But she's basically like that one girl from Dakashikashi. She really likes sweets, and she's pretty lewd about it, about how much she likes sweets. I want to say she looks a little bit like a Danganronpa character, but we don't actually know who drew this. Although I don't think it was the Danganronpa artist who drew this, because that guy or girl, I don't actually know, does draw a little bit different. I'm just gonna say it looks a little bit like a Danganronpa character. Anyway. So how good is Jun? I don't know. We need to wait a few days after the character has come out to take a look at what she does. I can tell you the following. I can give you like just a very quick overview of what she does. Of course, you see her stats right here. I don't need to translate those stats. You can see them right in front of you. But more importantly, her connect gives charge disc damage up 9, which is quite a lot. I think it's going to be like 45% or 40%, probably like 40% charge disc damage up, so charge disc will actually hit really hard with this, and also just gives a regular damage up. This is actually a pretty good connect, and actually amazing connect if you're on a charged team. And the Magia does the following: gives damage to all enemies. It just damages all enemies. It's an AoE Magia, and it has a chance to apply darkness to all enemies. I'm reading this off because I can't read this here. And it gives charge damage up. This is regular charge damage up, not charge disc up. This is charge damage up, regular C, to all teammates, and it also regenerates a bunch of MP to herself. So she wants to spam Magia, even though she only has 1 Excel disc. But hey, she is able to be really good as a charge support. So if charge ever gets like even more changed, like if there's even more changes to charge at some point, she would be an absolute top tier character. But like I said, we still need more changes to charge. We also see her active for her spirit enhancement, and we see one of her passives. We don't know about the rest, but one of her passives is at least the charge combo charge count +3, similarly to how Momoko gets one here, the +3 that I talked about earlier. And her active does the following: it is a defense down to 1 target. However, apparently it only has a 4-turn cooldown, which is kind of absurd actually, that there's only a 4-turn cooldown. But yeah, but on the other hand, it's only a defense down to 1 enemy, so you know. Her the Memoria is like I think the upper one is like ignore Magia seal and gives Magia up. Okay. He's not a Magia character really, but sure. okay, you can play this one. It's not a personal, it's just a memorial you can get in the gacha, but it's not looking too great. And this one down here does HP regen and damage cut on active. Who cares? But from what I heard, she's unlimited. I heard she's unlimited. I don't know for certain, but I think she's unlimited. So think about that as well. And also the event called Girls in the Hood. Not in the hood, but more like they have a hood on, you know. These two new characters. So we got Joan, of course, but this is probably her 5-star. Her 5-star art, and not only does she have her stick, which by the way is fried squid on her stick, by the way. Not only has she rammed her stick between her legs, even though there's no point to doing that in the middle of a battle, other than, you know, sex appeal. But also, it almost looks like her boob is slipping out, and it gets like censored by a beam of light. I'm not even like trying to be overly lewd about this. That's literally what this image is. Like I said, we don't know the artist yet, but whoever the artist is, they're kind of having a pretty lewd mind. Maybe that's why they didn't want to put their name on the art just yet, but we will find out who the artist is, so whatever. Most importantly though, it's a double farm tower event, and also apparently it plays 2 years in the past, which means that these characters are probably dead by now, but who knows, you have to play the event and read summaries or whatever to figure out if that is indeed the case. But yeah, it's a double farm tower with the X challenge quest, the regular stuff, just the regular tower quest, so nothing too special. That was a long news insight, because there actually, for once, there was some changes to the game that were important to talk about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.